La Fontaine's Fables, Belphegor. One day Satan, monarch of the enclosures, reviewed his subjects. All the various states, princes and kings, and the peat. Thrown away crying, pushed over and over shout. As long as Satan was dizzy, he asked in passing to each soul, "Who threw you into the eternal flame?" One said, "Alas! This is my husband." The other one too early was answering, "She's my wife." So much was this repeated speech. Let Satan finally say in the Consistory, "If these people tell the truth, it is easy to increase our glory. So we just have to check it out. For this purpose we need to send some demon full of art and prudence, who not content to observe carefully all the Hymens he will witness. He also joins his own experience." The prince having proposed the sentence, the Black Senate followed everything with one voice. From Belphegor too early we made a choice. That devil was all eyes and ears. Great peeler, clairvoyant to wonders. Finally able to penetrate into everything. And push the exam to the end. In order to cover the costs of the business. He was given over and over. All on sight, and only in different places. He could touch by correspondence. As for the surplus, human fortune, goods, evils, pleasures and pains. In short, what follows our condition was an annex to his legation. He could get out of grief by its good tricks, and by its industry. But not to die, nor to see his homeland. That he had not consumed here some time. His mission was to last 10 years. So here he goes through and passes what heaven wanted to put in space between this world and the eternal night. He put hardly any, for a moment led to it. Our demon is settling in Florence city for win luxury and spending. Even he thought it was clean for traffic. There under the name of Lord Roderick. And he loaned himself, and loaned like a rich man. Big house, big train, number of people. Anticipating daily on the sum that he only had to consume in 10 years. We were surprised at such a bonbons. He held table, had on all sides people at his expense, either for his voluptuous, either for splendor and magnificence. One of the pleasures where more he spent was praise, Apollo incense. Because he is a master in the art of flattery. The devil would not have so many honors in his life. His heart became the goal of all traits. That love was throwing, there was no beautiful who did not use what she had of attraction to win it, however wild it may be. Because to find a single rebel, this is fashion to people who hand. By the present all paths are flattened. It is a useful spring for all purposes. I said it, and the redescendcore. I don't know any other first motive in the universe, only silver and gold. Our envoy, however, took into account from each hymen, in different newspapers, one of the happy and happy spouses. So little filled that the devil was ashamed of it. The other incontinent newspaper was full. At Belphegor there was finally no then to experience the thing by itself. Some girl in Florence was at the time beautiful, and well made, and few other treasures. Noble moreover, but of extreme pride. And especially since some virtue. Such pride seemed clothed. For Roderick we asked for it. The father says that Mrs. Honesta, that was his name, he had so far forced parties, but that among the band he might well prefer Roderick. And asked for time to deliberate. We agree. The prosecutor applies to win the one where his vows were addressed. Festivals and balls, serenades, music, gifts, feasts, very appetized. Strongly altered the bottom of the embassy. He complains nothing about it, using it as a great lord. It runs out of donations. The other is persuaded that she gives him a lot of honor. Conclusion that after forced prayers and ways in every way. He had a yes from Madame Honesta. Previously the notary passed there. Of which Baal-Peor mocking in his soul. "Hey, what," he says, "we're getting a woman. Like a castle. These people spoiled everything." He was right, take away from men the simple faith, the best is taken away. We throw ourselves, poor people we are, in trials taking the backside. The if, the cases, the contracts are the door where noise entered the universe. Let's not hope she'll ever get out of it. Solemnities and laws do not prevent. Let the Hymen love have debates. It is the heart alone that can make it quiet. The heart does everything, the rest is useless. Let it be, let's see other states. At friends everything apologizes, everything passes. In the lovers everything pleases, everything is perfect. In the spouses all bored and weary. The duty night, everyone is done in this way. But, it will be said, is he not in any guises? Happy cleaning? After careful examination. I call a good, see a perfect Hymen. When spouses suffer their foolishnesses. On this point it is quite reasoned. As soon as the devil had brought to him his bride, he judged for himself. What is the Hymen with such a demon? Always debates, always some sermon. Full of foolishness in a supreme degree. The noise was such that Madame Honesta. More than once the neighbors awakened. More than once we ran to the noise. He needed some simple bourgeois. That she said, a little trafficker. Treat the daughters of my rank. Did he deserve such a virtuous woman? On my duty I'm too scrupulous. I regret that, and if I did right. It is not sure that Honesta does nothing. These prudes make us grow well. Our two spouses, as history says. Without arguing were not a moment. Often their war was based on the game, the skirt or some furnishing. Summer, winter, meanwhile, in short, a world. Inventions to spoil everything. The poor devil had reason to regret. From the other hell the deep abode. To Phil finally Roderick married Mrs. Honesta. Having ceaselessly and father and mother. And the grand sister with the little brother. Of his money marrying the grand sister. And the little paying the tutor. I didn't say the main cause. From its ruin infallible accident. And I forgot he had a steward. A steward? What is this thing? I define this being, an animal. Who, as they say, knows how to fish in cloudy water. And the worse the good of his master goes off. The more his own grows, the more his profit increases. As long as easily he would buy. What is net to the Lord would remain. Of which by reason well and duly deducted. We could see everything reduced. In its state, if it happened that one day. The other became the steward in turn. For regaining what he had as master. They would both take back their first being. Poor Roderick. His only hope was certain traffic. That he claimed to have to fill out his scholarship. Doubt hope, uncertain resource. It was said that everything would be fatal. To our bridegroom, so everything went wrong. Its agents such as most of ours. Abused it. He lost a ship. And saw the trade go to the water. Misused by some, misserved by others. He borrowed. When that came to pay. And at his door he saw the creditor. He was forced to dodge by the leak. Winning the fields, where bitter pursuit. He escaped to a farmer. In some corner reparated with manure. In Matteo, that was the name of the sir. Without turning so much he says what he was. That a double evil in him tormented him. His creditors and his wife are worse. That he knew no cure but to enter. To the bodies of the people, and to recover there. To hold on to it, would we go there and take it? Would Lady Honesta come to advocate there? That she regrets to govern herself well? Barring thing, and that he's tired of hearing. That out of these bodies 3 times he would come out. So soon that Matteo would pray to him. 3 times without more, for reward. For putting him under cover from sergeants. Everything too early. The ambassador begins. With great noise to get into the bodies of people. What his fantastical work then became, history does this not say anything about it. His trial shot was an only girl. Where the gallant was quite well. But Matteo for a big sum. He pulled him out at the first word he said. It was in Naples, he moved to Rome. Seizes a body, Matteo banishes him from it. The hunt again, another new sum. 3 times finally, always from a female body. Notice well, our devil went out. The king of Naples had a daughter. Honor of sex, hope of his family. Many young prince was his pursuer. There of honesta Belphegor escaping. He could not be taken out of that asylum. There was no noise in the fields as in the city. That of a minute who drove out the spirits. 100,000 DCU is promised to him. Well grieved to miss this sum. For the 3 times prevented him from hoping. May Belphegor allow himself to be discarded. He refuses it, he says he is a poor man. Poor fisherman, who without knowing how. Without gifts from heaven, by chance only. From a few bodies chased some devil. Apparently cheative, and miserable. And does not know this one in any way. He may say, but we force him, we bring him up. We threaten him, we tell him that under pain. To be hanged, to be put high and short. In a gibbet, it is necessary that its power. It manifests itself before the end of the day. From the same hour we put you in the presence. Our demon and his conjurer. From such a fight the prince is a spectator. Everyone runs there, is not the son of a good mother. Who to see it doesn't leave any business. On the one hand are gibbet and heart. 100,000 écus well counted on the other. Matteo trembles, and eyes on finance. The evil spirit seeing his capacity. Laughed under cape, alleged 3 times. From which Matteo was sweating in his harness. Pressed, prayed, conjured with tears. All in vain, the more it is in alarms. The other laughs. Finally the minute says. That on this devil he had no credit. We grabs it and leads to the gallows. As he was going to harangue the assistants. Necessity suggested to him this tour. He says that we beat the drum. What was done, of which the filth spirit? A little surprised at the minute asked. Why the noise? Naughty, what do I hear here? The other responds, it is Madame Honesta. Who wants you, and goes all over the world. Seeking the bridegroom that heaven gave him. Incontinent the devil de Campa. Escape to the depths of the underworld, and all the success his trip had had. Sire, he said, the knot of marriage. Donne as true as any other state. Your greatness sees falling down here. Not by flakes, but menu as rain. Those whom the Hymen makes of his brotherhood. I have examined the case myself. Not that of itself the thing is good. She once had a happier destiny. But as everything corrupts in the end. No more beautiful jewel is in your crown. Satan believed him, he was rewarded. Encore that he had his return advanced. Because what would he have done? It wasn't wonders. That having always a devil in his ears. Always the same, and always on one tone. He was forced to put on the vanille. In the underworld, it is still changing. The other punishment is, in my opinion, more cruel. I'd like to see some people last there. She would have had jobs spinning her brains. From all this, what do I pretend to infer? First, I don't know worse than to change your home in prison. Secondly, if for some reason your ascendant at the Hymen exposes you, do not marry Honesta if it is possible. Doesn't have a Honesta who wants